Yo, I may cuss, but I don't curse. Let's get that situated first. Taurus is back with another one for y'all, for us. Everybody is included. If you're a cross watcher, I'm glad you could be here. Whoever's here. If you just first time watching tarot when you're here, salute to you. Thank you for being here. I appreciate it. But anyway, let's get into this story. I call it a story. Why not? It's a 4-card draw, so I'm going to hold you a little long, all right? Hey, yo, it's kind of wild, but listen, hear me out. We're going to be tapping into the psyche a bit right now. We're starting this off with the wise old man. The wise old man, all right? Followed by the 5 of Pentacles. Followed by the Magus in reverse. Followed by the 5 of Torches. Now look. Just coming straight out of the gate, right? I feel like you're a person that's in a position of power. For those of you who are younger and for those of you who are older, whatever that means, right? But I feel like I'm talking to two types of demographics when it comes to age, and for some reason it has significance in this reading. For those of you who are younger, I want you to hear this as maybe a parable, or at least, like I said, a story, so that you can understand what it's like to become a wise old man and the types of thoughts that you would encounter, and not only that, but the type of things you may get into or think that you will do in order to maintain the power that you have obtained. Because if you may have not heard this already, to become old is a what is it? It's called something. It's grace, though. You know what I'm saying? It's a luxury, right? To grow old is a luxury. So with that comes power, with that comes recognition, with that comes status, with that comes king status. And that's what I'm feeling. For those of you who are more established and you know exactly what I'm talking about, this is you. And those of you who may be younger, this may be you who are encountering an older individual, a wise old man or a wise old woman who has the reins, but at the same time, maybe not wanting to relinquish the reins. And it could be because of some type of stubbornness or some type of rigidness. All right. And as the saying goes, that is much Saturnian, that Saturn eats its own kids. But let me explain the analogy of why that's proposed that type of way. It's because once someone reaches a certain level of status, of recognition, and they acquire so much knowledge, they be damned if they give up the throne. They start realizing their mortality the more that they age. And they say, well, why do I have to give up myself to go into the volcanoes, to the pits of the volcanoes, and basically sacrifice myself for my children? All right. This is a very self-realization. And this is raw, right? Because who even talks like this? To have this exposed, you might be like, some people have strong attitudes. You're supposed to sacrifice yourself for your children, especially coming from that Christ-like dynasty or era that we have been in for so long. I was just watching a review on Donnie Darko, 2001 cult classic. If you haven't seen it, please go watch it. It's a great movie. But I have the same theory that a lot of viewers and fans of that movie have. Why did Donnie have to die? I don't care what you say. No, Donnie didn't have. That's my opinion. Donnie did not have to die, and a lot of people share that opinion. Donnie did not have to take himself out. He sacrificed himself so that the timeline will become normal again. The primary universe would be straight. But he didn't have to fucking die. If you really look at it, he didn't have to die, B. So this is what I'm getting from this. The wise old man is saying, no, I don't have to sacrifice myself to make sure that everybody is okay. I've made it here for a reason. I've acquired this age. I've acquired this knowledge, this wealth, this stature for a reason. Like, I'm entitled to that. And my mortality is my mortality. You thinking I'm supposed to fork it over early? Because this positioning is going to be terrified of what the future holds. But lo and behold, hear me out. There is misfortune there. You may be experiencing it right now in this very moment. And I feel like for some of y'all, it might be like just hanging on a thread or paycheck to paycheck or, that type of thing. the mind is thinking, okay, well, where I'm going to get my next dollar from, whether it's a day out, a week out, a month out, something along those lines. Nothing to be ashamed of, especially when we're talking about Saturnian energy in this type of way. Saturnian energy operates in that type of way to see what your financial interests are. So this is actually the key to you utilizing the Five of Pentacles energy to find out the root of your struggle. Because Saturn is not going to be able to optimally assist you if your financial interests are either scattered or you don't know exactly what it is that you want to invest in order for you to continue having this reign, because it's firm. The throne is firm inside the walls of the castle. It is. But what are you going to do to maintain that? What are you going to do to keep it? You understand what I'm saying? And if your interests are scattered, if your financial interests are scattered, or you don't know exactly what it is that you want to do, I'm feeling a lot of y'all want to in order to maintain your king status, you want to revive this vitality about yourself and make it about yourself. But what I'm seeing here is that it's not time for that. It's actually time to relinquish the reins to your children. But I'm saying not your actual children, the children that are able to learn from you being a instructor, a mentor. Mentor those children. I'm getting strong employee vibes, because look at the labor on top of the third eye here on the old man. You're supposed to be mentoring these people. You got a type of position where you done put work in. And if you haven't started your own business already, I don't know what you're waiting for. This may be the calling right now, because what I'm seeing is, again, you're trying to put yourself in a position to revive yourself and get this second wind and this. You know how it is when you in your teens and all that, early 20s. You think you're in your prime, because there's so much going on and you're so involved and you so fly, you out there and this, that, and the third. It's like you trying to revive that again, and because you're terrified of the future and losing that throne. But in all actuality, you've made it to the point where you can just, what's that word I'm looking for? Delegate the responsibilities based upon what you know, the knowledge you acquired. And I bet you, if you channel your energy more into that way, you heal the root cause of this struggle financially. You heal it, because you'll see, as people are working for you, you'll be able to build the type of assets that don't have you at least worrying about that sector of the throne. Because look, I feel like some of y'all are already working on that business, or y'all already had that business. You see how the eyeballs are rolled up in the top of the head, right? Then boom, the Five of Torches. There's going to be competition. There are people wanting the same thing that you want. There are entrepreneurs out there, business owners, that are going for the same thing that you want. So you got to expect it. You got to expect the competition. It's going to be there. So what are you going to do about it? You understand what I'm saying? I just gave you the keys. I felt it in my soul, the things that I just told you. So, with that being said, until next time, I'm out.